Zega mashopu onse amaranatha muno Malawi. Phone 08.
Welcome, and it's time for our news bulletin coming to you from Bishop Nev Media Center. And you're with me, Patrick Popper. First, the headlines.
Usman reminded business owners that keeping their operating environment clean is part of their responsibility and reflect pride in both their business and the county.
Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Pope Leo XIV has expressed his closeness and assured of his prayers for the millions of people affected by heavy flooding in various parts of Southeast Asia in recent weeks. Over 1,500 people have been killed in recent days in several parts of Southeast Asia due to catastrophic floods and landslides. The current death toll stands at 883 people killed in Indonesia, 486 in Sri Lanka, and 185 in Thailand and 3 in Malaysia. We have a vital news report read by Tanduem Zumara.
On Sunday, Pope Leo XIV prayed for the victims of the natural disaster and the families who mourned their loved ones. Speaking at the Angelus prayer, the Pope urged the international community to show concrete signs of solidarity through humanitarian aid. Emergency crews continue to assist people struck by last week's flooding. Reports say many villages in Sri Lanka and Indonesia remain buried under mud and debris, and around 900 people are still missing in the two countries. In response, the Capuchin Friars in northern Sumatra, Indonesia, welcomed families displaced by the flooding into their monasteries. Speaking to the Vatican's Fides news agency, Father Joseph Norbert Sinaga, Provincial Superior of the Capuchin Friars province in Siboga, said the worst is over, but added that the humanitarian emergency has just begun due to the many people left homeless. Numerous people were killed in the dust of Siboga after tropical cyclone Senya brought torrential rains.
Minister of Energy, Mining and Natural Resources Jean Matanga has assured the nation that the government is closely monitoring and strengthening safety enforcement across all small-scale mining sites. The minister made the remarks as reports of small-scale illegal mining continue to rise in the country. Chalida Chiranga reports.
In an interview, Matanga said the ministry has intensified efforts to restore order in the sector and ensure that small-scale miners operate within the law to guarantee safety. She noted that government is committed to regulating small-scale miners, ensuring they adhere to prescribed safety standards, while also safeguarding the environment from degradation. Matanga further stated that the ministry will enhance collaboration with traditional leaders, the Malawi Police Service and the Malawi Defense Force to enforce mining regulations and protect surrounding communities.
Civic education. They need to know their rights and they need to know their responsibility. Because after mining, when they're doing the mining, they need to know how to protect themselves. They need to know safety details. At the same time, there's also need for them to know environmental issues. After they've done their mining, how do they take care of the soils? How do they fill back the holes that they've created? So those are the things that we are planning to do. So as we sensitize the miners themselves, we also would like to sensitize the local leaders. The role that local leaders play is vital in this sector, because they are the ones who receive people. And they are the ones who allocate land. So they should also know that they've got responsibility. It's a responsibility of making sure that the instances, the accidents that are happening are minimized. At the same time, we have seen an influx of foreigners.
Meanwhile, the minister emphasized commitments to prioritizing miners' safety, protecting the environment and promoting fair and sustainable exploitation of mineral resources. Recently, some people in Kasungu district died after mines collapsed on them at different but closely occurring times.
Civil Society Network for Climate Change, CISONEC, has called on the government to develop policies that prioritize clean and renewable energy technologies. CISONEC Executive Director Julius Ngoma has told Luntha television that affordable and accessible clean cooking and energy solutions for all Malawians would facilitate environmental conservation and protection in the ongoing efforts to combat the effects of climate change. Chalide Chilanga with the details.
According to Ngoma, advocating for subsidies to enable people to switch from current means to cleaner options like liquefied petroleum gas and solar energy would contribute to environmental conservation effectively. Ngoma emphasized the need for communities to shift from traditional cooking methods, which include using charcoal and firewood, to cleaner alternatives, highlighting the importance of awareness and sensitization to drive this change. According to Ngoma, this move will enhance the protection of the environment while also expanding access to clean energy for average income households.
To ensure that most of these clean cooking technologies are targeted. The subsidies will make it possible for people with low income to be able to access or to afford these items and be able to use them. But also, it's very important that having these technologies is one thing, but also having another. Let's say the input is also another thing. I'm looking at, for example, if you want to buy LPG gas.
In his remarks, environmental expert Edward Chidombe highlighted the implementation gaps of clean cooking renewable energy technologies, citing that the government is failing to invest enough in the initiative. He suggested that if the government provided financial support or invested in clean cooking solutions, more people would likely switch from charcoal and firewood, benefiting the environment and public health. Civil Society Network for Climate Change is a network of organizations working together to address climate change issues and promote sustainable development in Malawi.
Remember, you are watching News Bulletin coming to you from Bishop Nev Media Center. And for now, let's take a commercial break and we'll be back straight after this.
fantastic.
Little snail, what's your name? Gary, huh?
It's my game.
We put everything into this. Those that can do it and succeed,
how to fix it.
This city has been
just a cookbook. It's part of
being hit here
with the latest global news and insightful documentary.
Transition.
Understanding.
But if you ask them know me. I know they blow trees, only know you.
Ife Maranatha Natural Healing Ministries tikuthandiza mavuto osiyanasiyana.
Munthu ine ndakhala kudwala nthenda ya mgonamgona. Kupita ku chipatala anazoti akulu BP yanu yakwera kwambiri. Ndinafika posiya kuona kumakhala nyumba ineyo satuluka. Koma nditakwitsa ntchito mahebo a Maranatha ululu natha ndikuona patali olomota ndipatsa singano kuti ndike ulusi ndiyikambota ineyo.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Ndi atanthi yesa bwinobwino ku chipatala ndimene amene kuti tikuona kuti munthu otupa ziwiri sakula kwambiri komanso mtima wanu kuoneka kudontha madzi ndachita ndithu kuchokera ku Maranatha.
Chinthu chochinale chotupa kuti ndimange tayi ndi makanika tayi makhapa mba pachotupacho olo kuti ndimange mabatani zimaoneka kuti mkati mukhaka ndayikamo kanthu kena kake umboni ndina kuti ndachira kuchokera ku Maranatha.
Ine matenda adandiphatha ine adali yasima esensani musachedwe pitani ku Maranatha.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Ukapita ku Maranatha kwagula mankhwala mukupanga za moyo wa inu mukupanga za moyo wakaza komanso mukupanga moyo wa ana.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Mahebo akupezeka mashopu onse a Maranatha muno Malawi. Phone 0888-381-131 kapena 0996-867-190. Maranatha Natural Healing Ministries, mabanja athanzi, dziko la thanzi.
Wakusina kutu ndi nasi.
Malawi Airlines is delighted to announce the launch of a new scheduled service connecting Lilongwe in Malawi and Entebbe in Uganda, effective 15th December 2025. This route will operate 4 times weekly on Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, offering seamless regional connectivity and exceptional service. Malawi Airlines, from the warm heart of Africa.
Olivia school fees kwa kupheka tsopano. Listen to fees by Airtel Money. Muta Olivia school fees mosavuta kudzera pa foni yanu. Tsatirani ndondomeko zotsatirazi. Choyamba, imbani *211#. Pamene yomwe mutapatsidwe, sankhani 8 kuti mulipire fees. Pitirizani posankha 1 yomwe ndi safety fees. Kenako mudzafunsidwa kuti mulowetse admissions number. Kuchoka apo, mudzaona skulu yomwe mukufuna kulipira komanso dzina la ophunzira. Onetsetsani kuti zonse ndi zolondola. Pitirirani ndi kuyika ndalama zomwe mukufuna kulipira. Lembani pini yanu ya Airtel Money kuti muvomereze kulipira. Ndipo nthawi yomweyo mudzalandira SMS yotsimikiza kuti zatheka.
In case you are just making a big switch, remember you are watching News Bulletin coming to you from Luntha Television, and you are with me, Patrick Popa. Luntha City Council has embarked on a city-wide cleaning campaign as part of efforts to restore order and make the commercial city attractive to both residents and investors. Speaking during an inspection exercise on Monday, the mayor of the city, Isaac Jom Osman, said the initiative aims to improve sanitation and ensure that Luntha remains a thriving business hub. He emphasized that maintaining cleanliness is a shared responsibility between the council and the people who live and work in the city. Emmanuel Chocha reports.
They work in. He stressed that a clean city is essential for attracting investment, improving public health, and creating an environment that residents can be proud of. The mayor urged all citizens to ensure they live and operate in a clean and conducive surrounding, warning business owners that failure to comply with hygiene and sanitation standards will face closure of their shops. Mayor Osman, accompanied by council officials, conducted inspection across various parts of the city, including checking general cleanliness, assessing hygiene standards, and verifying conditions of a surrounding around shops and business premises. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Chiwocha.
Changemakers organization has intensified efforts to end gender-based violence and early marriages in Chitugula by working with chiefs, youth ambassadors, and service providers to raise awareness and strengthen community action. Founder and Executive Director Maria Chavula said the organization, which began as a club in 2022, has expanded its program and introduced community ambassadors who work with the chiefs, police, and health workers to report and address gender-based violence cases and support girls and young women. The Gender Makers Organization Executive Director was speaking during an awareness campaign at Traditional Authority Chitugula in Lilongwe. More details in this report filed by Gift Kalonga.
Chavula said the organization is intensifying efforts to end gender-based violence and early marriages in Traditional Authority Chitugula by building strong community structures and raising awareness. She said the organization has introduced ambassadors in all areas it works in to help address gender-based violence cases in collaboration with chiefs, community leaders, and police officers. She added that Changemakers has connected community structures to service providers such as police and health workers to ensure survivors of gender-based violence and young people can access sexual and reproductive health services.
I think you've also heard from the chiefs during the activity that at first we had a lot of challenges of gender-based violence, a lot of early marriages in this area. So as for us as the organization, we also have our own theme whereby we are emphasizing on ending child marriages, because here in Dodge we have a lot of issues of early child marriages and also forced marriages. So what we've noticed is that a lot of parents, they are not aware of issues of gender-based violence. They are not aware on the awareness or information around the gender-based violence cases. So what we were doing is that we started with the big goal, whereby we were increasing awarenesses in terms of gender-based violence, that the chiefs together with the parents, they can all be together and work together to address issues of gender-based violence in the communities.
Lilongwe District Youth Officer Monica Banda commended the initiative, saying it aligns with the ongoing 16 days of activism as youths are being trained to defend themselves, avoid early pregnancies, and take leadership roles in promoting their rights.
Training these young people to be leaders of today, not tomorrow, to take role, to lead. We are also training youth networks to disseminate messages on dangers of early marriages. Because if young people can get married early, they can be affected with a lot of issues like fistula. They can even die while giving birth.
Meanwhile, Senior Group Wansalu pledged to work closely with his chiefs to end early child marriages and gender-based violence, noting that the area has long struggled with such cases but is ready to change through joint community action. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
And finally, in international news, about 100 children who were abducted from a Catholic school in central Nigeria last month have been freed, according to authorities. Niger State Police Chief Adam Abdullah Eleman and Bishop Bulus Daua Yohana, who is in charge of the school as the local leader of the Catholic community, both told the BBC that they have received confirmation of the students' release. They said the news had been confirmed by the President's National Security Advisor, but Bishop Yohana said it was not clear when the children would be reunited with their parents. We have a BBC report read by Tanduem Zumara.
More than 250 students and 12 staff were kidnapped from St. Mary's Catholic School in Bapiri, the latest in a wave of mass abductions. Bishop Yohana said he presumed the authorities may need time to process the pupils and provide necessary support before announcing a formal handover. He added that he did not know the students' current whereabouts. Details about their release remain unclear, including whether it was secured through negotiation or by force, and whether any ransoms were paid. The governor of neighboring Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, told local media that the federal government had played a key role in securing their release, adding that the behind-the-scenes efforts could not be disclosed for security reasons. Last week, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu visited Bapiri and met a delegation led by Bishop Yohana, assuring them the children would soon be rescued and reunited with their families. Schools and places of worship have increasingly been targeted in the latest wave of attacks in North and Central Nigeria. The attack on St. Mary's on 21st of November was preceded by mass kidnappings just days earlier. On 18 November, 2 people were killed and 38 abducted in an attack on the Christ Apostolic Church in Kwara State, and a day before that, 2 were killed and 25 Muslim students abducted from Government Girls Secondary School in Kebbi State. All those taken in the Kwara and Kebbi attacks have since been freed.
With that story, we have come to the end of our news bulletin right here on Luntha Television. Thanks for watching. This has been Patrick Pupa, and I wish you a lovely time, and bye for now.
What's your name? Gary, huh?
It's my game.
We put everything into this. Those that can do it and succeed,
how to fix it.
This city
It
has
isn't
been
just a
my home
cookbook,
for
it's part of
Being hit here.
with the latest global news and insightful documentary.
Transition.
Understanding the
But if you ask them